About four major shifts in 2018. Mercury retrograde in Pisces, exalted Mars in Capricorn for 6 months, Venus in Libra for 4 months, and Jupiter moving into Scorpio. Big stuff ahead, so check it out. So I'm making this quick video about 2018 and a couple of very important shifts that are coming up that everyone needs to be aware of next year in 2018. Actually, all the main planets pretty much will go through some major shifts. Mercury is going to be in Pisces for 2 months starting in March 3rd to May 9th. Mercury is going to be in Pisces, sign of debilitation. Of course, it's going to have a retrograde cycle there as well. Mercury is usually in a sign for 3 weeks or so. It's going to be in its debilitated sign for 2 months. So wherever the sign of Pisces is going to be very important for you. Interesting to see this and learn about yourself using that transit. Also, Mars is going to be in Capricorn in 2018 for 6 months, from May 2nd until November the 5th. Now, of course, this is the exalted sign of Mars. So again, Mars will be exalted for 6 months in Capricorn. Wherever the sign of Capricorn is for you, it's going to be very important. And again, this is an excellent way to learn about astrology and also look at your chart at the same time. I don't necessarily recommend people look at their chart for, their own psychoanalysis or whatnot, but one of the things that can be very useful is seeing the effects of transits from your own chart and understanding the daily, changes, and particularly when planets set up in one sign. That sign is going to fall in a house from your ascendant, and it's going to be very important. So again, Mars in Capricorn for 6 months, wherever the sign of Capricorn is for you, it's going to be very transformative in that area of life, and really challenge you to get more discipline in that area of life. The debilitated Mercury in Pisces, again, whatever house that's in for you, is going to be, somewhat challenged. But again, there's also a lot of potential for creativity and other things. A couple other placements. Venus will be in Libra for 4 months, from September 2nd, 2018 until January 2nd, 2019. Again, Venus in its own sign of Libra for 4 months. Usually Venus goes through a sign for about 3 weeks, 3 weeks to a month. 4 months in the same sign. So again, wherever Libra is for you, you will really experience and feel that transit, and that will bring about some harmony in relationships and whatnot. But like if that's your 8th house, for example, if you're Pisces, it'll be very different than if you're Taurus, where it's your 6th house, or Gemini if it's your 5th house. And then also Jupiter is going to move into Scorpio next year, where it's going to leave Libra, go into Scorpio. This is a big shift. This is an annual shift wherever Scorpio falls for you. Very important. So I do a yearly forecast that you can get. There's a link below this video, and you can actually get the free forecast at 2018 Vedic Astrology.com. And I talk not only about those 4 shifts, but about 6 others, including eclipses and other important placements, other retrograde cycles. And you can also get the full forecast for your sign, less than $20, and see throughout the year as these important shifts affect not only all of us in general, but you uniquely in relation to your rising sign or your ascendant. So this is a great way to learn about astrology and also use your chart as an example. Again, I don't recommend people micro obsess over their own chart, mainly because people try to read it for their own psychology and like, oh this, and they'll pick out some obscure thing in their chart, and take some small thing and base some big psychological factor in their nature on it or something, and they'll get it all wrong. So not for self-analysis, but to read events. Your chart is actually one of the best things to use to read events, because your life is nothing but a bunch of events. And if you can be objective about it, which, as I said, many times people can't be because they're reading their own psychology, which is not advised, but events you can definitely learn by using your own chart. And of course, these transits that I'm describing for 2018 are going to be events. They're going to impact your life in certain ways. Wherever Pisces is, it's going to impact that house, not just your psychology of, oh, I'm going to be confused and things might back up. If you're Virgo, that's your 7th house. If you're Cancer, it's your 9th house. If you're Taurus, it's your 11th house, right? Gemini, your 10th house. So again, you will feel the impact there, and it's a good way to really learn astrology. Just like that Mars in Capricorn, like I said, if you're Cancer, that's your 7th house. That's going to affect your relationships. If you're Libra, that's your 4th house, right? If you're Scorpio, it's your 3rd house. All very different energies, and you will be able to feel that very strongly. And again, so if you want to get my overview for your sign, again, less than $20, I go through. It's a very in-depth examination of each of the 12 signs, including yours, and many people get all 12 of the forecast. That's at a greatly reduced rate because you have a lot of people in your life and you want to know what they're going through as well, not just you. So again, I'm making this video here just to talk about 4 of the big important shifts. Mercury debilitated in Pisces for 2 months, Mars exalted for 6 months, Venus in her own sign of Libra for 4 months, where Venus is usually only in a sign 3 weeks to a month, and Jupiter moving into Scorpio. So all of these big shifts will happen in 2018, and you'll want to know how it's going to impact you, and using your own chart, it's a good way to actually learn how that, transit will affect you. And you can also register for my free web class at the link here, and I'll break down all of these things and also give a very strong overview of how that Mars, that exalted Mars cycle is going to affect you as well. So anyway, hope you have a great 2018, and take me up on my offer and find out about how these transits will influence you specifically.